Amakosis, media, and any stakeholders present in this virtual meeting. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to table the 2019-20 annual report and the sections, the report for now. Thank you very much. Let me acknowledge Madam Speaker of Council, RPZ Zulu, Chief Whip of Council, Councillor Ndemande, fellow councillors, Amakosis, Municipal Manager and Management Team, residents and stakeholders, members of the media. Residents, fellow councillors, 19. Let us bow our heads down and observe some prayer. This is the first sitting of council for a year that served final chapter of council, leaving us only with 7 months to fulfill our 20s. To do so. Indeed, the past and the current year, which are the axes of today's discussion, have proven to be challenging in many fronts. We are fighting a war against an enemy that has cornered governments across the globe to commit decisions that further the class gap. In attempts to put life before profit, which is hindering our gains in fighting inequality, poverty, and unemployment. However, we are confident that our government will steer us out of this turbulent road in due time. As a member of the ICLEI, I wish to take this opportunity to congratulate Mr. Joe Biden on his inauguration as the 46th President of the United States of America. We are delighted that Biden has been sound on the USA rejoining global climate accord. He has called climate change an existential threat and says he will rally the rest of the world to act more quickly on curbing emissions by rejoining the Paris Climate Accord. Fellow councillors, as I prepared this report, I took time to learn about what is happening in the other secondary cities around the world during the time of COVID-19, particularly with the economies, with the hope of identifying commonalities between these secondary cities and KwaDukuza. The summary of my reading is best encapsulated as follows. The pandemic at its aftermath will continue to dominate socio-economic conditions in 2021. The recent vaccine developments offer a clear route out of the acute phase of crisis. The central assumption remains that COVID-19 will come under control very gradually through a combination of vaccines, medical treatments, and testing starting from Q2 in developed economies. But more broadly, only in the second half of the year this would take place. This would all allow for many social distancing measures to be lifted. At that point, governments may be able to gradually phase out extraordinary fiscal support. Madam Speaker, I would like to put it on record that I will deliver the presentations for the 2019-2020 annual report and the 2020-21 Section 72 mid-year budget and performance assessment reported simultaneously to cushion time, given that we are meeting virtually. In as far as the 2019-2020 annual report is concerned, a broad overview reflects that municipal performances decreased by 17% when compared to the previous financial year, where it stood at 64%. However, this has been a significant increase of 11% in basic service delivery to 47% from 36% achieved in the previous financial year. Some of the factors that have influenced our performance include COVID-19 and the national lockdown. A lot of planned projects were delayed as most of the budgets was transferred to COVID-19 disaster project. If it wasn't for the national state of disaster, it is evident there would have been a much higher increase in basic service delivery. In response to the increase in energy losses, the municipality has established a debt reduction steering committee to intensify measures to reduce energy losses by conducting inspections on bigger consumers every Thursday on a monthly basis. I will be reporting this aspect in greater detail in the mid-budget and performance assessment report. We have also dealt with repeated findings on irregular expenditure. The solid waste PPP has been finalized and is being implemented in the current financial year, and this has eliminated conducting the services as irregular expenditure. Other focuses of area include the grass cutting tenders, which are hoping to be finalized within Q1 of 2020-2021, and this will eliminate irregular expenditure related to the service. Also, the security tender is in progress of evaluation. We have unfortunately missed our target to appoint by October 2020. The electrical business unit has embarked on various tender processes for the appointment of various service providers onto a panel, and this will eliminate the need for Section 36 appointment, which were deemed to be irregular. Wrongly, the annual overview indicates that almost half, which is 47 of the strategic objectives, have not been met. The executive team should immediately set specific targets for improvement in 2020-2021. The overall budget spending at 87% is in line with the prior year at 86%. A workplace skills rollout plan must be put in place to ensure that at least 25% of the training is rolled out quarterly. This would yield a 75% achievement of the target as opposed to 57% achieved in 2019-2020. Revenue shortfalls were apparent in licensing as well as rates due to the national lockdown and the subsequent economic distress. It is recommended that collection risk modeling to be undertaken to mitigate revenue shortfalls. It is therefore recommended that a task team be assembled to look at the following: to unlock the SCM process, to monitor spending and report quarterly so that corrective action is implemented earlier as opposed to waiting till the end of the year, and for consequences to be faced by executive directors who are defaulting. The second one I'm talking about is the street lights. The street light repairs are going well. To strengthen this program, it may be beneficial for the municipality to invest in the installation of daylight sensors to curb the loss of electricity during daytime. This should be looked at as part of strategy to reduce energy losses. The performance management. The audit committee recommends that the performance scorecards be reviewed quarterly by the committee to monitor progress and to ensure that action plans are addressed timeously. During the planning stage, all targets should also reflect risk factors associated with the achievement of those targets to ensure that risk mitigation plans are put into place to deal with those risks continuously. Business units should also ensure that the assessment of the service providers forms part of their quarterly reporting to put service providers on terms, should there be a need to do that. Madam Speaker, I want to now take the Council and the rest of the House in as far as the Section 72 mid-year budget performance and reporting concerned. I will touch on the revenue. The actual revenue billed and collected to date is 877,507,000. The negative variance of approximately 39,698,000 or minus 4% is realized at end of December 2020. The expenditure to date, the mid-year budgeted operating expenditure for 2020-21 financial year was 887,254,000. The actual expenditure recognized as of 30th December 2020 was 736,896,000, which implies that the municipality has realized a negative variance of approximately 150,358,000 in expenditure. Madam Speaker, if we look at this, it's not looking that good, but the finance department is trying, and we all are trying our best to achieve our goal, vision and goals. In regards to the capital budget, the municipality approved 295,382,000 as a capital budget in the current financial year, with most of the funding being allocated towards electrical upgrades, road infrastructure projects, and community recreational facilities. The budget was since reduced to 294,763,000 during the special adjustment budget process. With regards to the capital budget, I request that the municipal manager to unlock bottlenecks at various tender committees. It is acknowledged that work has been done to improve these committees. However, it shall be noted that many projects are still lying in these committees with no sense of clarity. In regards to our cash flow, in terms of the cash flow, the municipality reflected 799.6 million cash and 105.2 million investments for December 2020. However, I must hasten to add that a significant portion of these investments are for committed purposes and unencumbered cash that is requested to be held by Treasury as a key indicator of our financial sustainability fluctuates around the 3-month benchmark. The consumer and sundry debtors analysis, Madam Speaker, as at end of December 2020, the consumer debtors reflect 240,220,663 rand. This indicates an increase of 22,689,494 rand from December 2019, in which the debt was 217,538,169 rand, highlighting an approximate 10% increase from the previous financial year. Madam Speaker, looking at it, it is telling us about our collection rate, that we are not doing that well. Most of the debt under this category is over 120 days, which is a very, very worrying factor. The effects of the national lockdown and the loss of income faced by consumers during July, August, September 2020 has resulted in a huge rise in debt over the 120 days category. Although the debt has risen from the previous financial year, the debt decreased by 31,232,944 rand from the first quarter review, which reflected consumer and sundry debtors as at 338,645,404 rand. Colleagues, to circumvent the above situation, these are the measures we have adopted as a collective to reduce the outstanding debt. Council had approved the implementation of the COVID-19 debt relief scheme from 1st July 2020 to 17th December 20. It should be 17th June 2021. Or is it the first 6 months, I would say. That's correct, December 2020, which aim to assist debtors who are in arrears settle their capital debts in full or installments so they qualify for write-off of outstanding the admin and accumulating interest until 17 December 2020. Debtors were handed over to the new debt collection panel of attorneys. Council appointed a service provider to undertake disconnections to speed up the debt recovery. Continuous 40% partial blocking of debtors that utilize the prepaid electricity meters. These are the resolutions or resolutions that we have implemented, and they are continuing with that. Madam Speaker, with your request, when can we ask those who are not muted to mute themselves, please? Impact of disconnections and handing over accounts. Fellow councillors, I also wish to bring to your attention that our work is yielding results since we ensued with disconnecting debtors and those stealing electricity. We have seen results. Please receive this report as I go through. 819 consumers with a total outstanding of debt of 21,085,000 rand were disconnected, and this brought an additional revenue 9,129,151 rand into the coffers. On the ground, our team, the ground operation, led by the Revenue and Debt Steering Committee, have given these results. 317 tamper fines have been issued, and the total value of these fines are 3,684,378 rand. 181 of the 317 tamper fines to the value of 2,535,138 rand relates to business properties. 136 of the 317 tamper fines to the revenue of 1,149,240 rand relates to domestic properties. 87 of the 181 business customers have paid their fines amounting to 1,183,173 rand. 63 of the 136 domestic customers have paid their fines amounting to 527,722 rand. Therefore, Madam Speaker, 150 of these 317 customers issued with fines have come forward, and a total of 1,710,895 rand million was recovered from the payment of these fines. If we had not formed this RDSC, Madam Speaker, I'm sure we would have not collected that. But we will continue to do the good work with the operation carrying on the ground every Thursdays. Madam Speaker, Section 72 Midterm Budget and Performance Assessment Resolution, I would like to, as I close, that Council is hereby requested to consider these resolutions also. That the midterm budget assessment as required in terms of Section 72 of the MFMA be noted. That acting under S723A, the accounting officer hereby recommends to Council that an adjustment budget in items in terms of S28 of the MFA is necessary. That the findings and recommendations as outlined in the executive summary of this report be dealt with during the adjustment budget process. That the adjustment budget referred to above be tabled to full Council by not later than the 25th of February 2021. That the Budget and Treasury Office appreciates the support received from all business units during the compilation of the mid-year budget assessment report. That the Council notes that the withdrawals from bank accounts attached under supporting documents in the report in terms of Municipal Finance Management Act Section 11 of 4. That the Council notes that the attachment ratio in terms of Provisional Treasury Circular PT/MF7 of 2018-2019 and 2019-2020 financial years. Madam Speaker, I have said a lot about the Section 72 and the annual report of 2019-2020. Madam Speaker, in closing, In the words of the late Samora Machel, I say, personalities and fame pass, the revolution must remain. Thank you for your attentive ear. Through our guidance, Madam Speaker, I open these two items for discussion. I thank one and all for listening to my presentation and the report that was presented now. So, Madam Speaker, I hand it over to you for the discussion. I thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As we welcome the report, the draft annual report, under very hard or difficult circumstances, we welcome the report. May I then invite councillors to comment on the report? Seeing the hand for Councillor Ndemande, Councillor Ukoli, Councillor Dawood. Yes, in that order. Honorable, Councillor Tel, in that order.
Thanks, Soblomo. Good morning, Madam Mayor, all councillors present, officials. In fact, Madam Mayor, I think we need to start to understand the purpose of this report. Before I make the comment, I would like to say we are welcoming the report, Madam Mayor. Thanks very much. But the purpose of tabling this report is to get the window period where the members of the public will get the opportunity to make their comment. The report will still come back to the council with the comments from the public and other stakeholders. Therefore, I suggest Somlomo that the political parties or the members of the council can reserve their comment up until the report comes back with the members of the public comment, and after the MPEC played their oversight role in this report. And that's the purpose of the report, in fact, because if we can start now making many comments, even in the next council meeting, when the window period of the members of the public to make comment, when the report is coming back, we will be attempted to repeat what we are going to say today. I think the purpose of the report is just to note and agree with the recommendation as recommendation number 2 put and 3 put it clear that annual report be advertised for public comments in accordance with section 21A of the Municipal Systems Act. Number 3 is saying MPEC begin with the oversight process of the.
Take this opportunity to greet fellow councillors and officials who I haven't greeted in 2021. I would like to agree with what the Chief Whip has said. The DA will be making submissions on the annual report, as we do as a political party every single year. As far as recommendation number 2 goes, we trust that all the relevant reports will be included in the report prior to it being made public, along with the corrections. I'd like to bring to the attention on page 436, a number of councillors have been allocated to the incorrect wards. So I think this is a public document, and the relevant corrections must be made prior to that being going out. I don't want to labour on about the annual report. I just want to bring to the attention of council, if the political parties are going to do submissions through to portfolio chairs, then I think it is really imperative that the performance management agreements need to be signed. And it is a very big worry that only 37% of the performance management agreements have been signed, and notably none have been done in the Office of the Municipal Manager, Community Safety, Civils and Youth Development. And without performance management, we cannot assist in the development needs of the municipality. So the MM must have a target date put in place and report back when these agreements are to be signed. Apart from that, I will not make further comments, but I will place on record that the Democratic Alliance will be submitting comments. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Daud. Councillor AK Daud, would you please mute and comment, make your comments?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're
Hello?
audible.
Yes.
Yes, you can hear.
Good morning to everyone. Honorable Speaker, Madam Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Acting MM, Councillors, and all protocol observed. I would like to go with what Councillor Zimanda, Chief Whip of the ANC, has said, and I will reserve my comments for now till the final report has been done, and then we'll take it from there. But I would like to thank the Madam Mayor for this report that she has tabled, and I can see that the report was transparent and fair. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you,
Councillor Daud. Councillor Kele.
Morning, Madam Speaker, Ma'am Mayor, Councillors, Amakhosi Asendlunkulu, officials, I greet you, Kunyaka 2021. No, I'm not going to do as EDA did to say they support the Chief Whip but still make comments. The Chief Whip of Council, not Chief Whip of the ANC. We welcome the report. As we'll wait for comments from the public, as alluded by Chief Whip by seconded. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks. See, yeah, Sanjay, but Manzini, that maybe to draw the attention of a council on pages 312 to 314. Suspensions. For me, an outcome that says it has been finalized, I think there is kind of a missing information. Yes, it has reached its finality, but what has been the outcome of the case that has been going on? I think the council need to be also be appraised of that particular information. But we are noting the report. We are welcoming. Thank you very much, Ma'am Mayor. It will then follow the proper processes, obviously, of that, taking it to the public for comments. Because there were no questions or even additions, I think we take it as it is, Ma'am Mayor.
But I approve.
Councillor Ntuli? Ntuli? Okay, ngicabanga ukuthi ubekulibaleke ukumute lapho. Ma'am Mayor, is there anything that you'd like to say? Noma, you are covered.
Madam Speaker, I think I've covered all, and I think we heard the comments from the DA, from Al Jamaat, and the Chief Whip of Council has actually alluded to. I go with the recommendations on page 2 of the item.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can we then, thanks. Can we then move to the second item 2 of the council? This is on page 403, mid-year budget and performance. Mayor? May I invite Mayor to take us through?
Give me a second, Madam Speaker. I'm trying to get into that. Yeah, did it. Hello. Hi, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker.
Yes, Mayor, we can hear you. The platform is yours.
I think when I was doing the 2019-20, and I did say we'll go through the mid-year budget. The item on CO2 was also presented at the same time, just after the annual budget performance statement. So I did present the Section 72 mid-year budget and performance assessment report. It was done simultaneously after the annual performance. Madam. Hi, Madam Speaker. I'm not sure what went wrong here. It's here.
My apologies, honorable councillors. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, you are.
Yes, Madam.
Okay, thanks.
Speaker.
Madam Speaker, can you hear me?
Yes, taken us on board, but
Madam,
I why it was wholly obvious also talk the performance assessment. So that means we have adopted both 01 and 02. Are we in agreement, honorable councillors?
Agreed.
I'm sorry, Madam Speaker, you broke up. I couldn't hear what you were saying.
When you were making your input, honorable councillor Cole, you did speak of the performance assessment.
No, I only
Which
spoke
then
of the.
says Mayor was doing these items simultaneously, 01 and 02.
thank you.
We only spoke on. I only gave my input on the annual report. I didn't give my input on the midterm budget. Because the Chief Whip of Council only gave his input on CO1, not CO2.
I think I have a particular challenge with my gadget now.
Madam Speaker, we don't have a clear reception.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we did
Yes.
the annual report for 2019-2020, and I also said simultaneously we will do the midterm budget, the Section 72 report, and we did that accordingly.
Okay. Chief Whip and Councillor Cele,
Madam Speaker, I'm checking where we are.
I was taking e-council to C02. The mayor is saying yes, simultaneously, C01 and C02.
Okay. But you can allow us to make input on 02 because we only concentrated to 01.
May I request that? But before that, there is a hand for Councillor Ukoli and Councillor Ucele.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Can I confirm that we are giving inputs on the midterm budget now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
But okay. There was a hand for Councillor. 1 sec. Councillor Ucele, your hand was up as well.
No, I'm covered by what has been raised by the Chief Whip of Council.
Okay, no, thanks. Can we then make inputs? Can I see the hands for C02? Councillor Ukoli, Councillor Undimande. I'm seeing those hands in that order. Councillor Koli, the platform is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I am experiencing some poor network challenges, so I'm just going to go ahead and hope for the best, as well as having a power outage. The midterm budget was noted, and with some concerns, some which have been covered by the Honourable Mayor. Concerns are the under-collection of revenue of nearly 40 million. This is likely to continue with the current economic constraints that residents of KwaDukuza find themselves in. An additional concern is the negative variance of approximately 150 million in total expenditure for the last 6 months of the financial year. Bulk services, again, remains an issue that the municipality does not seem to be able to get on top of. Energy losses at December is over 105 million, which is more than 25%. It is acknowledged that there is a task team that has been established in order to deal with these massive losses incurred by the municipality. However, I think it would be prudent to set some targets in order to bring these losses in line with the NERSA guidelines of 6 to 12%. In addition, it's concerning to note that the electrical business unit has already spent 50% of its overtime budget. The taking on of the contracted services in this department looks like council may be incurring double expense. A pressing concern is the expenditure on monthly security services. We definitely cannot afford an overspend of 5.4 million over the budgeted amount. The tender for security services is still to be finalised, and we call on all business units to assist with savings to bring this spend in check before we have an even bigger problem. An additional point of concern is the growth of 18% in consumer debt between the two financial years. While it's understandable, it is an area of concern. At the same time, we need to ensure that debts owed by government departments, which are over 6 million, are serviced. We look forward to the adjustment budget, which has been spoken about, which will be tabled in February, and hope that comments that we have made will be noted. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ukoli. Councillor Ndimande.
Thank you, Somlomo. On this one, Somlomo, I don't think we need to welcome the report, and we can't fix the shortfalls that are appearing in the report today. I think what we need to do is to ask the management to make sure that at the MANCO level they meet and try to see how they can fix whatever needs to be fixed. After that, the PSC need to sit and look the challenges very closely. And after the PSC, before we approve the adjustment budget, we shall need to have a council workshop, which will take us, all of us, through the processes and whatever minor changes or adjustment that we need to make, because it's clear it might happen that we need to compromise some areas if it's possible. We shall need those platform, Mamusomlomo, and yeah, shortly we'll need those platforms up until towards the end of February, where we are going to approve the adjustment budget. I think let's take that approach. But over above that, I have noticed that we are not too bad as we thought. We are not too bad as we thought. All of us, we understand that we are coming from level 5 lockdown. Most of these things were standstill, but we are not too bad. But we still have a room of improvement. That is why we will need those platforms of the MANCO Budget Steering Committee and Council Workshop up until we approve our adjustment budget, to make sure that everybody is on the same page. Thanks.
Somloma. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's Councillor Ngidi. Can you hear me, Madam Speaker?
Yes, Councillor Ngidi, birthday, and you can comment.
Yes, thank you so much. Greetings to you, Ma'am Mayor, councillors, fellow councillors, and officials. I would like to say that I'm seconding Councillor Ndimane on this one, and the comments that he made on the issue of giving MANCO the responsibility and so having that council workshop. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We are noting the comments made by honorable councillors, all that have contributed, but as we said earlier on, we welcome the report, and what we have resolved on, we believe that it should be taken into consideration administratively and see implemented moving forward. Thank you so much. Can we then move to the next item? C03.
Madam Speaker.
This is on page. Yes, ma'am.
Madam Speaker, I know the item has been seconded on CO2. Would you allow me to just comment? I had my hand up.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry about that. I thought you would notice my hand. Maybe you couldn't see it from your side. Madam Speaker, we acknowledge all the comments that's come from the Section 72 report. I also would like to place on record, Madam Speaker, due to the difficult times and the COVID that we are going through with the second phase of the aggressive pandemic, I must place on record, and I am placing on record something that is very, very important. Madam Speaker, during the COVID period from 26th of March 2020 until this day, our finances were struggling, but we were still recognized to be the most financial viable municipality in KZN. And we must compliment the finance department for carrying out their daily work in an ethical manner and open and transparent way. We sit in our LCC command once a month. All the information is brought. Our portfolio started sitting from October, where we play our oversight role. I think Madam Councillor Corley also raised, which is relevant to the Section 72 report. With the overtimes, yes, we monitored it. We knew during the COVID time we had many people that were under quarantine. We had to get people to work sometime 2 shifts. And I think the community was also informed via our website, via all the chat groups. We did have challenges, but in spite of that, Madam Speaker, with this aggressive pandemic, reporting to work, as much as we lost close to 21 staff from KwaDukuza municipality. And let us take the report with good feelings and good resolutions that we have taken and continue doing that good work. And I think the essential services, they were put in a very, very front foot, Madam Speaker, and we all know that. Many people were under quarantine, many people were in hospital, but we prayed for them. And God has given us the strength and courage to continue running our daily business of the municipality. Yes, we do have concerns, but we will continue playing our oversight role in our monthly portfolio meetings. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor. Can we then move to item 03 on page 544? Appointment of the acting CFO.
Great Somlom.
Siyavuma, but thanks, Chief Whip. Manzini, acting, if we are not mistaken, it's police on acting. If acted for 10 days and above, qualifies for acting allowance. Angisho Manzini. Mr. Manzini?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Angisho, it's policy if you have acted for more than 10 or more days consecutively, you then qualify to be paid acting allowance.
Correct, Madam Speaker.
That means recommendation 1. It's 5 days. It doesn't meet the requirements. We accept that he can act while CFO is on leave, but there will be no acting allowance paid to him.
Correct.
That should be clear. Correct. It is a cause for concern. I remember at some point we spoke about it. It was the very same business unit. It raises some concern as to how do we implement the resolutions? How do we adhere to the policies that we have? If finance will have an audacity to come to council saying there will be someone who's acting for 5 days and be paid the acting allowance, which is against the policy of a council that has been adopted by a council.
Madam Speaker.
There are a number of mistakes esingenayo kuwona nathi sigcine siwavuma ngoba sitshela ukuthi we are being advised correctly as this council, but only to find that kunezinto ezize-pick up by ithina as laymen, yet a policy is there. So we should take it's one director that will be paid acting allowance, but obviously leave has been granted. Can we then move to C04?
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, then we should remove the appointment of acting chief financial officer. The subject is not talking to your recommendation. I think the very first one does not talk to the recommendation of acting. If we're going to give leave, as correctly so you have said it, I think recommendation 1, we will agree just for the 5 days leave taken by the CFO, and recommendation 2, we would agree on that because it's 15 days over the norm of the policy of 10 days plus. We will accept that. Our recommendations are not speaking to the subject of the item. Thank you.
I'm lost, Mary, because CFO will be on his vacation. He's requesting that he cannot leave the business unit without someone responsible for it. Then he's requesting that in his absence, during his time of the leave, let 2 directors act in his absence. Where we differ, it's on the issue of 5 days acting. Yes, and that he cannot be paid. Otherwise, he can act, but he cannot get any form of remuneration for that. Agreed?
You correctly put it, Madam Speaker. Thank you. We would go with that recommendation, and it must be recorded accordingly.
Thanks.
Madam Speaker. Yes, Madam Speaker, thank you. I just wanted to rephrase recommendation number 3, whereby we have to delete director expenditure, and then the recommendation should read that council approves payment for the director budgets and compliance for the period of his acting appointment as per the policy only, because it will only be speaking to director budgets and compliance for the period of 15 days.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam.
So we'll have 2. Thanks. We'll have 2 recommendations. Recommendation 2 will be recommend. Okay, we'll have 3 recommendations.
Recommendation 2 will remain as is. However, recommendation 3 will remove the acting allowance in respect of director expenditure, because his period of acting will be for only 5 days, and only director budget and compliance will remain.
Okay, no, thanks. I hope, Zamo, you did get it correctly. Can we then move to C04 on page 546? Madam Mayor and Mace, your hands are still up.
Sorry,
you
Madam
want to make
Speaker.
comments? Kindly lower your hand.